Hello and welcome to the Rock Your Voice podcast. Vocal coaching tips that will transform your voice, interviews that will inspire, industry guidance, and so much more. Without further ado, let's get on with the show. Today we have a really special edition of the Rock Your Voice podcast. You can probably hear me grinning from ear to ear. You can actually hear it. You do not need to see this. I am so happy and so proud to be sharing this episode because today I am going to formally be introducing you to all the participants of our recent Write, Record, Release program, and I'm also going to be sharing with you their new singles. So if you haven't seen on Instagram or social media or any of the stuff that's going on with Rocket Vocal Studios lately, we undertook a huge project starting, it actually really kicked off February 1st. January, I got the go-ahead from Alberta Music and the government of Alberta that they are helping to fund this big project. And we got participants signed up, and February 1st, we started to literally write, record, and produce songs that we plan to release on March 30th. So do the math. That is crazy timing when you think a regular single can take 6 months to a year with all the preparation, the marketing, the planning, the website building, social media, getting to radio, streaming, all that stuff. There is so much to think about. So let's also take a step back and think about who took part in this project. So we have 5 participants. They all completely range in their experience level, and also they completely range in their style of music too, which is really cool because I've worked with some of them for quite a while now, and their style wasn't something that always stood out to me because sure, we'll pick usually covers to work on. Sometimes we'll work on originals, but I was so amazed to hear 5 completely different songs coming out of this project, which is really exciting to me. We've got kind of like an electro pop tune, we've got a country song, we've got an R&B song, we've got sort of a 90s throwback and a super cool punk pop, really cool tracks, all of them completely unique, all of the singers completely unique. And started in February. We had weekly meetings online, checking in where everyone was at. The goal from the very beginning was make sure you've got your social media up and running for your music, because of course they all have full-time other jobs. One's a teacher, one works in skincare, one technology, all different industries. And all have full-time jobs on top of this massive project. So so they had to get their social media all sorted out. They had to get their press kits together, make sure they had all of their photos and images that they wanted to use for promoting this song. And then we went and did a quick little songwriting retreat. We were joined by Annika, and Aaron Pollock also joined us virtually to help out the singers and the songwriters with crafting their songs and fine-tuning what they had already created. The wonderful Kurt Dahl, aka Lawyer Drummer, also did a really great web session little masterclass with us online all about entertainment law, which was really cool. There were lots of really big questions that he answered for all of the artists, and they all felt a lot more confident going into releasing their music and registering with SOCAN and getting all the royalty thing all understood and figured out. And then we've been working, of course, on the vocal side of things, the delivery, performances, all of that kind of stuff. Then, of course, they had to go work with the band. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Yeah, I feel like I'm going to pass out just talking about this project. Again, huge props to these guys. Because, once they'd written these songs, they had a week to think about their songs. And then it was straight into the rehearsal studio to jam with the band. And this was a huge learning experience because some of the styles that were being created weren't necessarily suited for a live band sound. reverse engineering, now that we've heard the produced versions, sure, we can tweak it and now perform it live on stage with a live band, but initially for the recording and the actual final recordings for some of them, they really needed more of a sort of a produced electro sound for their songs. So rehearsing with the band and kind of throwing ideas back and forth and thinking of the musical arrangements and everything was a really huge learning experience, especially considering that some of them had only ever played with a band once, and that was like last October for my open mic band camp retreat. So much learning, so many new things thrown at these singers and artists. Some of them never even written one song before. And I'm so excited for you to hear a bit about their story and their side of what the experience was like, because it's been a crazy ride in like 7 weeks or something. It's nuts. And so I'm really excited to share their stories with you and share their singles. You won't believe it. It's so cool what they've done in such a short space of time, and I'm so proud of them. A couple of the biggest takeaways just listening back to these conversations is that they've all just proven to themselves that they can write music, they can write good songs, they can collaborate with other artists, and they feel confident to step forward and continue doing it, which almost makes me want to cry, because some of these singers have never done this before, didn't think they could do it, and now they're looking forward to the next project, which just makes me so exciting. So a big moment of like overcoming fear and committing to goals, and having this group as well to really bounce ideas off and build community. They trust each other after this whole process. There's just been a really great development of a musical community where they can trust each other, they can share their ideas, they can really help each other out. So I'm really excited to encourage them to co-write together more and move forward together as a group and keep doing this and supporting each other. So really great communities come out of this too. But these conversations coming up, they're quite vulnerable and they're very honest. These singers have really shared what went into this process and how they created these songs, and just that vulnerability of someone entering into the industry and having that imposter syndrome, not being sure that they could do it, thinking, oh, I'm too old to do this, or it's too late in my career to do this. So just amazingly proud of all of them for giving it their best shot. And of course, like for some of the others who've been doing it a bit longer, really proud of them to just be like, you know what, this is it. This is my time to just step up and follow through with this dream that I've been talking about or working towards for a long time. So a couple of them working towards it for quite a while now, and they've stepped up and made it happen. So yeah, really proud of every single one of these participants. And I cannot wait for you to hear their stories, and most importantly, to hear their songs. If you're hearing this morning, and if you're in Calgary, we are having the launch party tonight at the Blind Beggar Smokehouse on McLeod Trail, and they'll be debuting their stage performance of these songs, and I just can't wait. But these singles are going to be around forever now, and I'm super proud to say that and to share them with you. And congratulations to everyone in the group, and thank you again to everyone who has supported us all along this process. That's the whole team at MCC Recording, Johnny and Dave, and of course Warren and Brendan and Steve and Adam in the band, and we've got a whole crew here. Alberta Music as well has really helped us, and Government of Alberta with the funding, which has made this affordable for everyone to take part in. So really excited to share, and I cannot wait for round 2 of the Write, Record, Release program, because it's happening. So stay tuned for that, and if this is something you'd like to be part of, make sure you are following Rocket Vocal Studios on Instagram. That's ROCKIT Vocal Studios on Instagram, because all the info will be there, as well as the website rocketvocalstudios.com, and you can always email me, emma@rocketvocalstudios.com, for more information too. So here we go. I'm going to start sharing my interviews with every single participant. We've got Nicole Byrne, Vanessa Wagner, Nikki Markin, who is also known as Midnight Gossip, Arliss Southen, and Braden Lowe. I will put all the links to their social media and information in the show notes. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, do all the things, and support these musicians with their new projects and their new songs. And thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. First up, I'd like to introduce to you Nicole Byrne. How long have we been working together?
I think about probably just over 2 years, hey?
Okay, yeah, well, because it was just before the thing happened. And
yes.
And tell me a bit about how you came to meet me and what that experience was, how you got led to the studio and how you felt about music at the time.
I've always sung, but like alone in my house or like in my car, and I was always too scared to sing in front of people. So then I was kind of on like a self-discovery journey. I was trying to do things for me. I was taking a break from dating. I was setting goals, and then I just Googled voice lessons because that's something I'd always wanted to do, and I stumbled onto a few different ones, and I was like, I need to find the right person who has the right vibe for me. Nice. And then I don't even remember what it was, but I was just like, oh, this feels right. And so you were doing a beginner class at the time. Right, so then I joined the beginner class, and we were doing that in person. And I think we finished that class, but we didn't quite get to the end of it, like the presentation we were going to do at the end.
We were going to do a big like performance for each of the other classes.
We had to go into online, and I was like, well, I'm going to keep doing this while I have to be stuck at home anyway. So then I've just been doing it ever since.
Love it. And were you a confident singer when you started out?
Oh my gosh, no. I don't know if you remember, but the first time that you asked me to sing in front of that beginner group, I almost passed out. I was like, you can physically watch the red like move up my body as I'm getting nervous. It's like hives and red, and I get out of breath, and I was like, I'm gonna cry. I waited till the last possible moment. I will procrastinate it. I was terrified of doing it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is amazing because obviously it's quite a big transition over a short space of time. Yeah. And I'm super proud of you, and I'm so in love with your song. Your song is amazing. So how did you feel when the Write, Record, Release program came up? Were you like, I got to do this, or like, I'm terrified, or what on earth is happening?
It's funny because Arliss and I were actually talking about it. She sent me a text and was like, did you read this email? And I was like, yes, I had a panic attack reading it. And she was the one, her response was, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Like that was all she said. She wasn't like pressuring me, but she was just like, it's once in a lifetime. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, she's 100% right. I'll regret it if I don't do it.
Yes.
I knew who was going to be a part of it. I knew that it would be the group that I was comfortable with and that I had watched grow so much over the last couple of years. So yeah, then I started to get excited about it, but I was really stressed about it at first, for sure.
So tell everyone a bit about your experience at the songwriting retreat, because I honestly, your face, okay, so when Nicole got her track back, I was like, I'm not just going to send Nicole her track. I have to see her face when she hears this track, because having seen her face when she arrived at the songwriting retreat and looked like just a deer in headlights, but even more stressed. And I was like, okay, I need to see the reaction to the final product. So tell me, what was going through your head at the retreat?
I get really bad imposter syndrome. I've had it through this entire 2-year journey. I would say that it's I get into this mode where I'm like, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Like, just for the background, I grew up in the smallest of small towns, and I didn't have a music teacher even in my school growing up. So I felt like I didn't know enough about it to do it. And I've always been kind of trying to jump over that hurdle of just because you don't have a really, depth of background in it, or you haven't been doing it your whole life, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. And so we got there, and I was just like, yeah, I have a line. Like, I know what the first line of the song is. And I had a journal entry. And that was it. And I kept saying, like, I'm really not a poetic person. I can write you an essay, but I can't write, I feel like I don't know how to put it into a song. And the finished product, I said to you when we were listening to it, is almost entirely that journal entry.
It's incredible.
Just formed into a song.
Yes,
but I was so panicked. I was like crying. Fortunately, my brother was with me because he's been helping with the song, and so he was just like, you need to take a breath, like, we are gonna do this, but like, you have to calm down.
And my gosh, I am so glad that you challenged yourself, because the outcome has been amazing, and I'm so proud of you. And I like I said, I think this track is just so much fun. I'm gonna jump right back though, because let's go back to like your first kind of experiences with music, because you're from Newfoundland, right?
Yeah.
So that's like wall-to-wall music and all that stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think there's a bit of pressure there too, that you grew up surrounded by like kitchen parties and everyone just pulls out an instrument and everyone seems to be able to be confident and play and
For
sing?
sure. I think there's this, we've talked about it before, that there's always this idea with music, for whatever reason, that if you're not perfect at it, don't do it.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of like natural musicality in Newfoundland. For whatever reason, a lot of people have been playing music their whole lives. They've been singing, they've been playing guitar, and it comes really naturally to them. And for me, singing itself, I guess, came a bit naturally, but doing it in front of people did not. Right. So I could do it at my house, but if I was at a party and somebody brought out a guitar, I was not the person singing along. Wow. Because I was terrified, like every muscle in my body tenses. So I was like, oh no, I can't do that. And it was just by chance, like I was at a party one time there was a group singing along, and I started singing along, and somebody heard me.
Right.
And they were like, oh, you can sing. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know, but only by myself. And they were one of the people that encouraged me to like start trying to do it a bit more. But yeah, I think there is that pressure that you have to be good at it and to do it. And it's,
no. You're only going to get good at it by doing it.
Exactly.
Too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I love it, and I'm so glad that you picked up the courage to pursue that and dig into it, because you've done so well, so well. So tell us a little bit about your song.
Oh, that fun story.
As much as you'd like to tell us. You don't have to tell us the full background. You just introduce your song a little bit, like title.
Well, the song is called Don't, and it kind of started about a year ago. Well, it started longer ago than that, but I had a terrible boyfriend that was actually part of the reason I moved to Calgary. And then it did not work out. It didn't work very well at all. And then after 6-7 years of not hearing from him, he suddenly had sent me this message that was like, hey, I'm just reminiscing and was wondering how you're doing. And without getting into the details, he did not treat me very well. So I was just kind of like, who are you to ask me how I'm doing? Just stay out of my life.
Yes.
And so that's kind of where that first line of the song came from. It was stuck in my head. I had just had it, like, I wanted to say it, and it was just one of those moments where you're like, I don't want to start a conversation here, but this thing I want to say is stuck in my head. And so that ended up becoming the first line of the song.
I love it. Yeah. And like just such a great song, and such a great way for you to have that conversation without having to have the conversation.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm really glad you wrote that song. I'm glad that guy was a dick, because thank you for that, and thank you for Nicole's awesome song. And I'm so excited. I know this is a cheeky question to say, like, what's next, because obviously this right now is a huge thing for you to have undertaken. Mm-hmm. But has it given you confidence? Are you starting to think like, oh, I can write songs, I can sing in public, I can do that? Like, what's happening in your head now?
For sure. Like, I was just talking to my brother yesterday about it, actually, and he was like, whoa, are we gonna do it? We gonna write another one? And I was like, yeah, I guess. Like, so yeah, I think that we'll keep writing now that we know that we can do it, and we've had that experience, and we learned so much during this. Like, the learning about just how you put a song together, finding a hook, like looking at that page, and you were the one that came in and was like, this is the hook right here. And I was like, how did I miss that? Of course it is. But just learning those little pieces along the way, like I feel like I have a lot of more tools now to do it again. So I feel, I want to do it again. It's so much fun.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce Nicole's song, Don't, and it's going to be available on all streaming platforms, and you can follow her at Nicole Byrne Music on Instagram, and that's BYRNE. So yeah, go check her out. I'll put all the links in the show notes, and I hope you enjoy her song as much as I do. Congratulations. Yay.
Thank you.
I guess you feel nostalgic. I'm supposed to think it's sweet. I see you still decide what's best without ever asking me. Now you want attention. I've got better things to do. Forget my number and my name, 'cause I'd forgotten you. Why now? Just checking in. Did your ego need a boost? Why would you ever think I'd wanna hear from you? What gives you the right to show your face again? Thinking I would be the same. One of us has grown up and moved on, and the other hasn't changed. You can keep on reminiscing, but I won't. Next time you feel nostalgic, don't. It's kinda sad that you had nothing better to talk about. With that girl you cheated with, maybe she should block you out. Now you want attention, but you're not getting it from me. Maybe you should focus more on making her happy. Why now? Just checking in. Did your ego need a boost? Why would you ever think I'd wanna hear from you? What gives you the right to show your face again? Thinking I would be the same. One of us has grown up and moved on, and the other hasn't changed. You can keep on reminiscing, but I won't. Next time you feel nostalgic, don't. Sorry, would have been nice, but we both know you're not the type. So move on with your life. What gives you the right to show your face again? Thinking I would be the same. One of us has grown up and moved on, and the other hasn't changed. You can keep on reminiscing, but I won't. You can keep on reminiscing, but I won't. But next time you feel nostalgic, don't.
That was the new single, Don't, by Nicole Byrne. You can follow her, Nicole, BYRNE Music, on Instagram. Now it's over to Vanessa Wagner, and she's going to tell us all about her new single. So Vanessa is joining me now, and I've been working with Vanessa. It's so funny, actually. I've been preparing to move house, and I found a whole bunch of old files. Actually, I think they're literally right here. Vanessa, where did I put it? Anyway, I found your file from when we had our very first singing lesson. And no, here it is. What did we have in here? Okay, so we were working on our first singing lesson, Sam Smith, How Will I Know?
Yes.
Christina Aguilera, Mariah Carey, I'll Be There. We looked at Whitney, I Have Nothing. Oh my god.
All the good ones.
Yes. And we were gonna work on your runs for Can't Fight the Moonlight and Part of Your World.
Right. Yes, I remember this all now.
Yeah. So that was October 20th, but I don't even know what year. I want to say like What year
I think
would
it was
that?
2016.
Okay,
We started,
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. So we've been working together for quite a while, and then obviously with the thing in the middle where everything went virtual, and we still managed to keep in touch and keep working on your voice. So tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, how you got into music, where are you from, and how did you discover music?
So I grew up here in Calgary, Alberta. I would say I first started getting into music through dance. I was in musical theater for years, like doing Oliver Twist and New York Newsies, stuff
Cool.
like that. I went to a Catholic school, and I was in the choir for like
Love
Christmas Mass and whatnot. Yeah, and I just feel like ever since I started watching Disney movies and movies in general, I just became kind of obsessed with soundtracks. So I just would
Nice.
go around singing and singing and singing everything I could, probably annoying my family. Yeah, and then 2016, I decided I just wanted to branch out and take it seriously, and I met you.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did, because
Yeah.
I just love your voice and obviously love working with you. So yeah, was it a scary experience for you to sort of dig into it more seriously?
I think so. It's always like you're singing in the shower, in your room, in the car, whatever. But to actually have to sing a song in front of someone who does this for a living is intimidating.
Yes.
But I felt like you were the perfect fit for me, and I was just,
Aw.
I was able to open up over the years and like
Nice.
express myself more through music. While learning a lot about it.
I love it. And how long have you been playing piano? Because you wrote your song on piano, right?
Yeah, so I taught myself, I guess, the basics of, I'm not like an amazing piano player, but I taught myself the basics when I was a kid. I took lessons for a few years, but I found that a little tricky because you teach yourself one way and then there's actually a proper way to do it. So I'm like, what do you mean? Why would you put your placement like this when you could change it like this?
Yeah.
So I guess I started that maybe when I was 9-10 years old.
Okay.
So yeah.
Awesome. And you took part in our open mic retreat recently, not the open mic, the band camp retreat recently, and sang with the
twice.
band. Yeah. So we did the songwriters and the band camp. All the retreats have been going on. So tell me a bit about that experience and how that felt for you musically, and like how it's kind of helped you with your growth.
Well, I think for the first one I attended in August, I was pretty nervous because there's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
But after the first day, I realized everyone's there for the same purpose, which is
Yes.
their love for music. This is an art for everyone, and we all just kind of connected over that. And having that support system was like pushed me to want to continue this with these people as well.
Right.
And then come October, when we had the second retreat, it was more of like working with the band, which was intimidating, but so much fun at the end of it. It's like, okay, sweet. Like everything pieces together and becomes part of the whole, I guess, fun.
Yeah. So had you ever performed with a live band before that, or was that your first time with a band? Or
that was my first time. Yeah.
Okay, you did awesome. It's so good. So how did you feel when I reached out? Because I was like, Vanessa, we have this songwriting program coming up. Like, what were your initial thoughts? What did you think?
It was kind of funny because I was just like, yes, like,
Yay!
so I was like, you don't even need to tell me the details. I'm in. Yes! Because like, I think you reach out right into the new year, and I was already set on agreeing to new opportunities this year, and I'm just like, yep, perfect. This was meant to be.
That's so awesome.
I'm terrified, but I'm in. I mean, it kind of makes you nervous, but like in an exciting way.
Totally.
Next chapter.
And have you been writing songs before, or messing around with writing or anything like that before this one?
I feel like I've kind of always done like journaling and stuff. I've tried to put together songs or like lyrics, but it's like a couple sentences. So I really think now with the singing songwriting, I just want to keep writing. Like I'm like, oh, I have a new thought. I can write about this. I can write about that.
Do you feel like you've actually learned, like, hang on a second, I shouldn't be so intimidated or nervous about this. Because what I'm seeing from everyone is like, everyone's a little surprised that they can actually do it and write good songs.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's all about like learning the placement of like, okay, this thought can go here. And then, you know, just like knowing the structure of how to write a song has been so helpful, because before I'm like, okay, two sentences, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know, you know. Like how many times do I rhyme something? Like you gotta figure it all out. But
totally.
No, it's exciting.
And the genre of your song, the style, was that? Because I know that some other people in the group too are a little surprised. It's like, hang on, I'm going like full punk pop here. I wasn't expecting, like, feeling like a different vibe. Were you expecting that vibe for your song? Was that your intention all along?
Honestly, I feel like when I first started writing the song, I'm like, I want it to be, you know, sad and slow based on my lyrics and stuff. And then I was like, I want it to be like me as well. I'm like, let's change the sound of this. And like, I feel like with your own music, you can take it in any direction you want. Like, it's like, I want to do this. And, you know, like you get to create your own, I guess, vibe for it. So I went different direction and I'm happy about it.
And big shout out to your brother, because he really helped you with putting the demo together and everything to help with the band and everything. So.
I know, he's been wonderful. Like he's also trying to get into his own side of the music industry as well. So
love it.
You know, family.
It's really good to have that kind of support, for sure. So tell us a little bit about your song. You don't have to go too in depth with the story or anything, but just tell us a little bit about the inspiration, the motivation, and the kind of feel and vibe of it, and then we'll give it an introduction and let people have a listen.
So the song I basically wrote about kind of just you know, you're going through a tough relationship and you're no longer really angry about it. You're just kind of naturally, you want to let it go, but like let it all go and don't hold on to any, I guess, anger or, you know, regret or anything. Just let it go.
Nice.
So I kind of threw in like a pop kind of 90s kind of vibe to it. So it'd just be like, just a vibe.
It's very
just move
cool.
on, let it go, life continues.
I love it. Yeah, and it is a vibe. You've got a really cool sound for it. It is R&B pop, like it's a little bit throwback. I love it. It's so much fun. Tell everybody what your song is called. So we have of course, you have to go follow Vanessa Wagner Music on Instagram, because she'll be doing lots more if I have anything to do with it. But there'll be lots of updates and everything, and I'll put all the links in the show notes too. But Vanessa, feel free to introduce your new song.
Thank you. So this song is called I'd Rather Lose You, and I cannot wait for everyone to go and listen to it. I hope you like it.
Staring in the mirror at these bloodshot eyes, trying to find somebody that I recognize. Soon you'll be picking up the pieces to this mess you made. But I guess there's only losers in this game you played. Hope you know that you only hurt yourself. So go ahead, try to make me jealous with someone else. Don't have time, keep you on my mind. I've seen the truth between your lies, and now I'm letting you go. Cause boy, I finally realized that I'd rather lose you than lose myself. Always trying to calm me down, cause boy, you're insecure. I was scared to lose you once, but now I'm done for sure. No pointing fingers, let's agree to disagree. But now I'm letting you go, cause I'm finally choosing me. Hope you know that you only hurt yourself. in circles, time and time again. No, you're not an enemy, but boy, you're not my friend. You should have realized how you treated me. Now I think it's time you just let me be. So I'd rather lose you than lose myself. Yeah, I'd rather lose you time and time again. Yeah, I'd rather lose you in the end. Yeah, I'd rather lose you. So I'd rather lose you than lose myself. Yeah, I'd rather lose you time and time again. Yeah, I'd rather lose you.
That was I'd Rather Lose You by Vanessa Wagner. You can follow her at Vanessa Wagner Music on Instagram. Music is such a great way to reduce stress and is also very frequently used as a form of therapy, whether that's casually or formally with a formal music therapist. And my next participant, I'm so excited to share this song with you. She's been on such an incredible journey ever since we've been working together with her music and has learned so much about her own personal development as well as a lot about mental health. And this song speaks volumes about that journey, and I'm so excited for you to hear from Arliss Southern and learn about her latest single too. I always want to say Southern, Arliss Southern. Arliss South. It's Southern though, right?
So my grandparents are from England, and the pronunciation is Southern.
Oh.
And over the years, so many people pronounced it Southern that yeah, sometimes I say Southern, sometimes I say Southern.
Okay, I like Southern. Arliss Southern.
That's what I was born with, so
I
Arliss
love it.
Southern.
Okay, so I've been correctly pronouncing it this whole time.
Yeah,
I like that.
you went with, you should have gone with your gut. You did.
There we
Right.
go. This is awesome. So, Arliss and I have been working together for quite a long time now, and it's been just a really exciting journey because I remember the first time I heard your voice, I was absolutely in love with it, and it was very timid and shy, and we've worked really hard on just really bringing out your sound and confidence, and we've actually, Arliss and I have just finished having a huge conversation because we've been listening to her tracks and her mixes for this project. And just the learning process that you've been thrown through in these past couple of months. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your experience of this madness.
It's great madness. It's really fun madness. It's the best kind of madness. But yeah, definitely fast paced, and all of the things you wouldn't know you would need to know.
Right.
What you don't know, learning things the hard way, learning things every misstep or every learning is all in a safe space. So it's been really, really cool. I don't think I could have gotten this experience any other way.
Amazing.
And just how quickly it was, it made me think a little bit less, which is always a good thing because I can get stuck in my head. So it was kind of go, which actually turned out to be really for the best.
You've written other songs, right? You've written a few other songs.
Yeah, I've written, because I've taken quite well, not a lot, but I've taken a couple songwriting courses, but actual songs that I would say like are fully written, I think probably would just say 2.
Okay. So, but this is the first time you've like produced and got something ready to go out to the people.
Exactly, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the song, because we've actually been talking and we've been really digging in and Googling the name of the song as to what the reception might be. Because, yes. My husband had a point the other day. He's like, is that going to offend some people? And I'm like, well, actually, I don't think it can, because it's all based on personal experience, and it's a song about yourself. So tell us a little bit about the song.
It's definitely a vulnerable song. It kind of came about when I've always kind of been the crazy redhead, and then I always made jokes about that.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing a therapist and got diagnosed. And I'm like, you know what? I really am crazy. So maybe I can take that word back and kind of own it a little bit more. People have called me crazy all the time. You know, maybe I'm okay with that, because, you know, it makes me different, and my experiences are my experiences. My brain works how it works. And it's kind of a song that I just own it. Like I'm okay with it and talking about it and being vulnerable, whereas people may not think I have all these things going on in my head.
Yeah.
I feel it's important to talk about and to just be honest about it. So there are a couple labels that hopefully aren't triggering for anyone in it. Very nothing too extreme, but yeah, it's definitely meant to be more of an empowering kind of concept versus offensive.
I know that every lyric in this song is coming from a good place, and again, like I said, it refers to you personally. You're singing about yourself. So yeah, I thought it was really, really interesting, and it's a really cool angle, and a really good way to kind of open up the conversation about mental health. And you've used music for a long time with regards to your personal mental health as well, haven't you?
Definitely. I noticed at one of the darkest times in my life, I didn't have any outlet of I didn't sing at all. I mean, I've been pretty honest about singing in front of people. It's always been really hard for me ever since I kind of started struggling. But the openness of the mental health and using it as therapeutic tool, even driving and singing, or even have a hard day, it can be singing for stress release kind of a thing, versus having a bottle of wine, or just getting those emotions out. Sometimes it's been a really great tool, a healthy tool that I can use even after a meeting, or
I love it. I love that. Having completed this project, do you have some goals for what's coming up, or has it motivated you to keep going? Has it proven to you that you can do this, that this is something that's achievable for you, or has it completely terrified you?
No, I think it's really made me think about the future and what I want to do, because I just really honestly never thought I would get here to a point where I could actually tell people I love singing and this is what I sound like, and be okay with people hearing, and if they don't like it or like it, but just putting anything out there, because it's been, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm 34 years old, so it's been a long time, and I've loved singing since I was, very small. So I've been taking a lot of lessons for many, many years, and learning, just constantly learning. So I would love to continue writing, and I think I have a lot to say. So I think there's some definite new songs that I'll probably write, and then continue on the journey.
I love that. I love that so much. So I'm going to play Arliss's song for you, but Arliss, please, I will let you introduce the title.
Alrighty. My name is Arliss Seven.
Yes.
This song is called Crazy from A to Z.
I've never really been on stable ground. It's always been shaking. The water would rise and I would nearly drown. The dam was breaking. I hoped when I was older I wouldn't have to push this boulder up a hill anymore. Turns out that I'm stuck in a war, 'cause I'm fighting all the time and the enemy is in my mind. I guess I'm crazy from A to Z, every letter in between. Perhaps maybe I'm the problem, I'm searching for the answer key. If you call me crazy, say it to my face, be chill please, 'cause I'm crazy, crazy, crazy from A to Z, every letter in between. From A to Z, I'm every letter in between. I didn't grow up like the others, I was in black and white. My childhood memories ain't got any color, there was no sunlight. Hoped when I was grown up my parents would have shown up in my life a little more. Turned out that about me is in my mind. I guess I'm crazy from A to Z, every letter in between. Perhaps maybe I'm the problem, I'm searching for the answer key. If you call me crazy, say it to my face. Be sure please, 'cause I'm crazy, crazy, crazy from A to Z, every letter in between. I'm PTSD and ADHD and GAD or MDD. I'm OCD or maybe I'm WXYZ. I found someone with a PhD who had the answer key, and now I'm not ashamed to be a little crazy, crazy, crazy. 'Cause we're all a little crazy from A to Z, every letter in between. Perhaps maybe I'm not the problem when I have the answer key. If you call me crazy, say it to my face. Be chill please, 'cause I'm crazy, crazy, crazy from A to Z, every letter in between. From A to Z. Crazy from A to Z, I'm every letter in between.
That was Arla Southern with Crazy from A to Z. Up next is Nikki Markin, aka Midnight Gossip. So now I'm joined by Nikki Markin, aka Midnight Gossip. You may also have known her as Swallow Sorrow. Nikki, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into music.
Yeah, so I basically picked up my mom's guitar when I was 13 years old. Listened to a lot of kind of folk and bluegrass music. My mom's also a musician, so
Nice.
I kind of grew up listening kind of as my background, and yeah, just spending a lot of time at music festivals and such. And then basically started writing songs for as long as I can remember, poetry, writing stuff, teaching myself guitar, and then obviously my musical taste changed a lot throughout the years through like grew up in the 90s listening to a lot of 90s pop music.
Yes.
And that kind of stuff, listening to a lot of like punk and emo music and stuff during my high school years. And then as I kind of got older, going to music festivals, finding a lot of indie artists and electronic dance music, EDM and stuff like that, and basically kind of got to this point of wanting to fuse all of these interests that I have in music together to make Midnight Gossip.
Tell us a bit about what is Midnight Gossip all about?
A big realization I've had as an artist over the last few years was, under my previous moniker under Swallow Sorrow was very melodic and kind of sad music and melancholy music, and that's just not fully who I am. I was just kind of playing kind of sad songs and with an acoustic guitar, and it was a very cathartic experience songwriting in that way, and a lot of release happening over that time. However, I kind of am not really in that space anymore. I'm in a lot happier space, and kind of realized that catharsis can also be a release of joy, and wanting to add joy into my music and a lot more happiness. And definitely there'll still be songs with that kind of more melancholy undertone, but with a bit of more of like an upbeat way of presenting it to the world.
Right.
Putting a lot of like happier music out into the world than just a little bit sadder stuff.
Yeah. Tell me a bit about your writing process. How did you come about writing this song?
So I think this song is a good representation of that like catharsis of joy experience of, the song is kind of written from this perspective of like realizing you were falling in love. And I kind of wrote it about, I did write it about the falling in love with my partner, and like driving home from his house thinking about like all the weird awkward things that you do. You'd be like, oh god, I spilled my drink, or I did this thing, and these kind of ruminating thoughts, but then just being like, oh god, I hope he likes me kind of thing. And it's kind of written from that perspective.
Nice.
And yeah, I just had this moment of these things happening when we were first dating and stuff, and that's kind of where the idea for the song came from.
Nice. So how did you find it going through this process with the Write, Record, Release program? It's been intense. That everyone's like, it's been very fast, it's been quite intense, but how have you found its kind of added to your musical background and your experience? Has it helped you learn a bunch of stuff? How's it helped you musically?
For me, yeah, the intensity and the quickness has been good. I mean, I work very well under pressure, but I think for me, it's more just the business side of it. You know, I've been doing music for a really long time and using this as an opportunity to help break through and finally kind of build everything that I've been intending to build. But now because it's, you know, under a timeline, it's like, okay, I got to do it. And, you know, I'm getting it all done. And so that aspect of just pushing myself to my edge, to meet my edge. You know, I've like I said, I've been writing songs for a long time. It's not really the writing process that, you know, that was just like the understanding the business aspect that has been really helpful and forceful in a nice way to get me to do all that stuff.
I'm the same. You have to like just be pinned down and be like, now we have to focus on this right now. And I think that's been really cool for everyone in this program, whether it be battling imposter syndrome or whether it's procrastination or whatever. It's been like, hey, this is the deadline, it's happening. So your song it's got more of a kind of electronic pop vibe going on, and you've been digging into production yourself too, right? You've gone from guitar playing to more of a electro producer role with your creativity.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing for me, is like, again, I was like, how do I transition from just being kind of like this acoustic singer-songwriter to creating this music without and wanting to build that vision on my own. Like, I didn't want to just hand that over right away. It was like I needed to build those demos on my own of understanding the sound that I wanted, that sounds like me and sounds like all the aspects of me that are the things that I wanted to express in my art. And so I think like it was just a lot of trial and error, just sitting around trying to understand how to produce and kind of, again, like self-taught myself how to do that. And it's been so fun because I've got about 5 or 6 songs ready for an EP to record as well, which is also very exciting to keep trucking along that path after this release too.
Great. You have a mailing list and everything set up, and so if people can follow you over at Midnight Gossip, and that's Midnight NITE on Instagram. So head over to Instagram, follow Midnight Gossip, and you'll be able to click the link there to sign up for her mailing list as well and keep up to date, because Nikki is always creating and writing, so there will be a lot more coming following this single. And knowing how Nikki works too, she's eternally polishing and refining music. So for now, we have the version that has been created thus far for the Write, Record, Release project. But stay tuned, because who knows, these might be polished up and turned into something even more special. But we want to make sure everyone gets to listen to what's been created here. So do we refer to you as Midnight Gossip, kind of like Lights, or like one of those more creative artists? Is that the name of the project? But you are still Nikki. How do we do this? Do I call you Midnight now? Are you a superhero?
Midnight Gossip is a project. It's I know there will be collaborators on this project. It's, you know, like having a front name for a collaboration of artists. Like I am working with a producer for this song that's outside of myself. So definitely it's a collective more than anything. So definitely call me Nikki, but Midnight Gossip is my project.
Okay, awesome. So I will hand over to you to introduce your new song.
I'm super excited. My name is Midnight Gossip, and this is my new song, Halos.
I'm driving home from your house when streetlights make halos. I'm dreaming of skies full of rainbows and walking hand in hand. You're shy, I'm judgmental, but they say opposites attract. I'm flying by the seat of my pants and I'm falling for you fast. I spill my drink in your lap. I didn't mean to do that. A sad smile and I roll my eyes, thinking, what if you don't like me back? I'm driving home from your house when streetlights make halos, halos. I'm dreaming of skies full of rainbows and walking hand in hand. You leaned in, I leaned back. There's no need to move fast. You grazed my cheek with your hand halos, halos.
That was Midnight Gossip with Halos. Up next, we have Braden Lowe. So Braden, as you know, the Write, Record, Release program, it has been like super intense, high speed, like madness. We're just laughing because we're still waiting to hear the final mix of his track and losing our minds with anticipation here because it's like, okay, we're kind of nervous because Braden wrote an awesome song. Acoustic guitar was like the foundation of it. And then there's been obviously songwriters involved and a whole bunch of a team and then producer. Everything's come together since then. And it's like, what's the
final product? Yeah.
We've chucked everything in the blender for this one. And we do not know whether we're getting a smoothie, a milkshake, or something crazy. So, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. We're the anticipation is killing me a little bit, but I think we're in a good spot. I think so far it's been a pretty crazy process, like you said, but I think everything's kind of turned out, for the better, I think.
Right.
And I think it's been such a good learning experience. So I know I always like to start by thanking you for putting it all together and just making this possible. But it's been pretty cool and pretty crazy.
Pretty cool, pretty crazy. So the funny part is that by the time this podcast comes out, we obviously will have the track, and Braden is at the end of this quick chat going to introduce his song to you that at time of recording he hasn't even heard yet. So this is so funny. And so, because of the nature of the program too, Braden is one of the artists involved who's taken his music really, really seriously. There's other people in the group who are taking it all very seriously, but they are newer to it all than Braden. And Braden's plan is to build on this experience to go on to release albums and really dig into his musical career. But there is actually an episode of the podcast with Braden. If you go back, there's a whole episode there because we did a whole Christmas thing at Christmas time. But Braden, refresh our memories. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got into music and why you ended up in this program.
I always start out by talking about my choir participation in elementary school.
Nice.
That's the humble beginnings, I say.
Yeah.
No, but it all kind of started there and then, progressed into some piano lessons and then not a whole lot else kind of until later on, like later high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started to sing again, I think. And just kind of took it from there, started learning, guitar, kind of self-taught, playing around friends and just kind of jamming with some groups, a lot in a music club at the University of Calgary. So that was a good opportunity for me.
Cool.
I connected with a lot of people, made some, lifelong friends, it seems. And really just kind of expanded there, kind of led into me just, trying to work on things myself and kind of find my place or spot in music and figuring out what I like, and just a trial and error process, I think, for me. And then, fast forward a little bit to, I guess, the beginning of this whole pandemic and the quarantine and everything that led me to yourself.
Yeah.
For some vocal lessons, and then the rest is history, right? So now we're doing this program, which has been crazy and awesome and such a good learning experience. But I guess a little bit about me outside of music. Born and raised in Calgary, I think is great, but I'd also love to get a feel for other cities and love to travel, so take the opportunities where I can. But I think it's just been, for me, kind of building on that creative aspect of myself and wanting to just be around those kind of genuine people who also love to create. And so being a part of this group has just, outside of this Write, Record, Release project and program, is I've gotten to know some really, really great people. We're also releasing some really, really great songs.
It's gonna be cool.
So fight for that number one spot.
The battle is on, but it's a little bit of healthy competition never hurts.
Yeah, exactly. No, I got a little love for them all, and so they inspire me too. And you're included in that as well. So
Aw, thank you. Have you been writing for long? Is this kind of the writing element, is that kind of a new thing for you, or have you been writing songs for quite a while?
yeah, definitely a newer thing for me.
Mhm.
I've always been a melodies kind of guy. So I think, that always came a little bit easier. And then the writing aspect, I think it was just, it's so much of a mental game or a
Yeah.
mental thing for me.
Yeah.
And I think it comes a lot naturally, or a lot more natural to people. And I don't know, I've tried to do some reading about it, the songwriting, to try to get some things going and some
Yeah,
ideas. And I think it's just what I've learned in the last little bit here is just kind of putting like your own criticism and thoughts to the side, and letting those ideas just kind of flow. Because when you look back or when you show it to other people, they're like, yeah, it's, you're going somewhere with this. And it's so easy to tell yourself that you're not. So I think just kind of putting that to the side and letting that, letting you direct yourself, right? Trusting yourself, I think is huge.
Totally. How did you find like the co-writing experience and kind of getting together with Aaron and Annika and all of that, all the input from those sides? Was it helpful? Was it overwhelming? How did you feel about all of that kind of stuff?
I thought that was really great. And like I said, I don't have too much experience in the whole writing world, but that was such a seamless process.
Nice.
They came in with great insight, but I think allowed a lot of the freedom to stay, or the I don't know, idea it is in control to say with us. Really. So I think it was a really nice balance of, giving us that input and that experience that they have and that they bring. But allowing us to still kind of drive where we want to drive, right?
Totally.
And go where we want to go with it. So I think to me, that seemed like the right way to co-write, to just like kind of bounce ideas and have opinions, and you don't necessarily have to agree, because
totally.
that's not always going to be the case. But I think, there was no pressure to have to do a certain thing or include something or take out something. So I think that to me are all good signs when writing in a group. And so, happy to continue that, with Aaron and Annika and any other, writers that I
we got to get you writing more, got to get you collaborating with everybody and trying to, that's the whole thing, is just building that confidence when you have that collaboration of like, when you have an idea and you have the right people around you, that you have that awesome chemistry to just bounce those ideas off. And it's like, oh, what? I just came up with this and I didn't really think much of it. And then you hand it over to someone else and then boom, there the magic just happens. It's so cool. So yeah, we're going to get you co-writing and working with lots of people to see what magic we can pull out. And also just, again, building that confidence is so important. And just knowing that crappy writing happens and the good stuff but you got to be writing to find the good stuff too, right? You got to do the crappy stuff to find the good stuff. So
absolutely. I was just gonna say, like, the good stuff doesn't come without the crappy stuff.
It's all about the experience and the learning and the growth. And I'm so excited for you. So we were just having a really good conversation before I started recording, actually, about how Braden does have these big plans and goals for his music. And so, full disclaimer here, really, we're waiting to hear the track. We don't know if this is going to be the start of Braden Lowe's musical career, or whether we're going to be like, this is close, but maybe it's not quite the angle we want to go with for the first single or the launch. So I think what we're sort of discussing, Braden and I, is to sort of preface the release with, this is work in progress. This is going towards the goal of what Braden really wants. Who knows? We might get the track tonight and be like, what? It's time. Release it to them.
Release it. Yeah.
Release the hounds. But having not heard it, we're still kind of like, is this going to be more of a demo, or is it going to be a single? What is it going to be? So, but you will be able to hear it, and it will be released to the public to listen to. Whether or not it's the 100% first single of Braden Lowe is yet to be determined, but I am optimistic. I'm very, very excited. So Braden, tell us a little bit about the song, your writing process. Doesn't have to be long, just a quick little rundown of how you wrote the song, how you created the final track, and you can introduce it for everyone to have a listen.
To kind of talk about the beginnings of the song, like, I think the whole idea is, just that whole experience of getting to know someone, right? Whether they become a significant other or a friend, or, you know, just kind of seeing past a lot of the things that I think we do to make ourselves appear different or appear a certain way. I think when you break it down, I think we all want to, you know, connect with people who are genuine in themselves and want to express that, you know, or share that with the world. And so I think that, you know, the main idea of my song here is that we can take down all those things, you know, and just kind of open up. I know it's a tough thing to do, and a lot of us have our guards up and kind of hesitant in a lot of ways, and sometimes for good reason or based off experiences. But I think when you want to get to know someone and are really fascinated by them or interested in what they do or their experiences and their interests, I think it can be such a cool thing. And I think this song hopefully captures that, and like wanting to find out more about someone, or, you know, what's beneath, you know, just the outside, right? And I know we always say don't judge a book by its cover, and so there's a lot more than just appearance. And also just, I think people should be more confident in what they have to offer, you know, not just with their appearance, right? And like them as a person, their personality, their, like I said, qualities, interests, that sort of thing. So I think it's kind of, you know, discovering that or uncovering that is really a cool thing, and something,
Awesome. And then the process of writing. So we had our songwriting retreat. You were cracking it out on guitar. It's sounding awesome. And then we worked with a good friend Warren who helped with some of the production there. So describe kind of the sound, because we took a long time trying to think, how do we describe this sound? What is the sound that we're going for? We watched a lot of music videos and listened to a lot of artists to try and lock this down. So can you sum up your sort of sound or the vibe in a couple of sentences?
Emma, that's a tough one. That's a big ask. I'm gonna right. I would say, to kind of summarize it, because like you said, we did take time and watch videos and trying to capture the sound, and, you know, shout out to Warren for trying to take both of us who are always in a million places and try to put that into one track. But I would say, like, we wanted to have something that had a smooth feel, but that was still, you could still bob your head to, and still, you know, kind of groove to. So I think something that gave a little bit of, you know, that R&B, a little bit of pop, a little bit of funk kind of thing. So I think that was kind of where we ended up, and I think we were both quite happy with the direction it went. Like you said, I cannot wait to hear this song.
I'm so excited. I feel like now, listening back on this podcast, once this track is in there, I'll be like, oh, it's like the first time again listening to this, the anticipation. So excited. All right, Braden. So new music from Braden Lowe is here. And so tell us the title of your song, Braden.
Yeah, so you're going to be listening to my song, and it's called Underneath It All.
Okay, so I had to throw in a super quick edit because we've had the track back. We're obsessed. Well, okay, I'm obsessed. I'm so proud of absolutely everyone who has taken part in this huge project, from complete imposter syndrome to the procrastinators who needed that deadline thrown at them, and just the amount of confidence that people have built, the amount of trust that they now have in their own knowledge of the music industry. So thank you so much, Kurt Dahl, for that, and thank you, Annika and Aaron, for your songwriting skills, and of course Johnny and Dave at MCC, everyone else who's been a huge part of this project. Big thanks. All of the links to all of these artists are in the show notes, so please go show them some love and some support, and stay tuned for lots more coming from each and every one of them. Not going to keep going on. I'm going to let you have a listen to Braden Lowe's new song, Underneath It All.
Thought I had you figured out, but I didn't. 'Cause there's something about your girl that just hits different. Won't waste my time smooth talking, I wanna listen. 'Cause I thought I had you figured out, but I didn't. So won't you break it down for me? I just wanna take you to the place you see in your dreams. All you gotta do is let down all your walls. I just wanna know you're underneath it all. The beauty that's inside you, I can see it. So So take off all the things you need to believe it. Don't try to hide your crazy, cause I need it. Yeah, the beauty that's inside you, I can see it. So won't you break it down for me? I just wanna take you to the place you see in your dreams. All you gotta do is let down all your walls. I just wanna know you underneath it all. Underneath it all. Underneath it all. Take it off, strip it down. There ain't no one else around. Take my breath, watch me fall. Take me underneath it all. Take me underneath it all. Underneath it all. So won't you break it down for me? I just wanna take you to the place you see in your dreams. All you gotta do is let down all your walls. I just wanna know you're underneath it all. So won't you break it down for me? I just wanna take you to the place you see in your dreams. All you gotta do is let down all your walls. I just wanna know you're underneath it all. Underneath it all. Oh, underneath it all. Oh, underneath it all. Oh, underneath it all.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and if you feel inclined to leave a review, I truly, truly appreciate it. You can check out all things voice at rockitvocalstudios.com. That's ROCKIT vocalstudios.com. And follow me on social too at Rocket Vocal Studios. Thanks again for listening, and I'll be back with lots more for you very, very soon.